All right. Hello and on back. So we are sorry. Where I left off this last episode, we were going through all the different type of problems that can happen with online stuff. Cybercrime, cybersecurity, like things to be mindful of. So I wanted to go back through and I was actually kind of embarrassed because I hate saying guilty because then it's like, oh, like let's go to jail or go to court or go anything. No, but I am kind of guilty of doing this. Like, and I need to fess up when I mess up. That's what I've been telling people. Is like we got to fess up when we mess up. And yes, I am guilty of that. Like, I mean, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. Come on, stop. Oh, why? How is it so bad now? Exes, girlfriend, boyfriend. So now, and this is more just to kind of raise awareness, for any teenagers, 20 somethings, or I like to think after the prefrontal cortex is fully developed in about your mid to late 20s, this doesn't happen as much. I mean, not as much. Now, I will say that I still kind of like every now and then, like, I'll like look or something at like, like some people just try to look up and see what they're doing, where they're at. Well, not, yeah, but that was bad when we first broke up because I was seeing, who she was being romantic with next. And I feel really bad. One of the guys was actually my buddy and he passed away since that. And like, I mean, we ran into each other at the Aggie down in Fort Collins, one of the music venues. And like, we got to talk and catch up and he knew that I wasn't mad at him. And like, I was pretty mad at both of them, like when I found out, like, but, I just felt betrayed. But she wasn't my property. Like, we broke up. So, I mean, it wasn't, and that's something that I had to settle with as an adolescent male back in the day. Like, I wasn't able to comprehend, like, she was my everything. And it was like, boom. So, but yeah, that goes back to stalking and also toxic behaviors. Let's see, where is that? Harassment, cyberbullying, being toxic. So I would say, yes, I was being toxic and I was probably saying some mean things. Also, drinking played a lot into that. And so I will say, like, alcohol intensifies. In fact, should we put that like lateral? Because like it intensifies definitely the stalking and but not like credential stealing. Like I don't know anybody that like gets starts having a few drinks and like goes and tries to like do some actual like calculated cyber scam schemes and their campaigns and stuff, especially phishing. But anyway, some of this stuff is just more mindful to, or just more stuff to be mindful of. And then yeah, harassment, cyberbullying. We might as well talk about predation too. So I was essentially the victim of predation, if you could call it that, but doing sussy things online in chat rooms, and then being catfished. Oh, let's see. Catfishing. Catfishing cyber. So it used to be called cybering. Catfishing, cybering. Yeah, we might as well just use the terms. It was the slang terms like, do you want to cyber, cybering. So it's just cyber intimacies. Oh, yes. Okay, good, good. That is so cool. I mean, now I'm like gonna get flagged and all horrible, so they'll just say catfishing. I mean, but it's another term that could be used as slang for like, do you want to cyber? And like that meant do sussy things and yeah, I was playing StarCraft back in middle school, like that, prepubescent time into, or no, puberty, hitting puberty. Sorry, it wasn't prepubescent. The act of hitting puberty means that you get into like all this stuff. So you're very vulnerable online. Like if someone says that they have naked pictures of a celebrity, then you'll be like, all right, but or if they say that I'm a hot, or it used to be ASF. Is it gonna bleep this out? I really feel like I'm already. I mean, I'm already on watch list because I've been trained in cyber and like um, and plus, like, I'm friends with a lot of law enforcement. Like, they're probably keeping tabs regularly. Like, is he, what's he doing? Like, I'm just kidding. No, they knew all about me back in the day. A lot of cops knew what I was doing, and they knew that I wasn't like that crazy. So, I'm not out there like doing the real things, but catfishing, just ASL. And ASL might actually be bleeped too. Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's age, sex, location. And maybe if you did it with the slashes. So that meant male, female, location, like, yeah, and what your age was. So then people, and it was very useful for people that were honestly, genuinely like adults and trying to do that, or like that's how they were asking, like, are you a minor or are you like my age or, something like that. So it's like really innocent in theory. But then if you're catfishing and you're posing as somebody, and this is more like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to teach people how to do this trash, but like, no, if you have your kids online and they see somebody try to do this, I mean, at the end of the day, or no. God, sorry. That was like a mouth is a mouth type kind of like mentality. And I had that a lot, or not a lot. Sorry, that sounds really bad, but like I had that more than once though, where it was an adult dude that catfished me doing that and then said, oh, I'm really, I don't even remember. It wasn't something ridiculous. I feel like, or actually, I don't even know because I didn't even think about it. Like, I was more concerned about it being a gay thing because it was a guy posing as a woman. And I was like, I'm not gay, and being all defensive and stuff. But I didn't even realize that it was some pervert out there wanting a teenager. Now, granted, a teenage boy, like, I don't know. I mean, it's super creepy, but like at the same time, like, I'm more worried about um, like the prepubescent, like younger kids. Like, I mean, and so we're law enforcement, so you can bet you that, you know. Oh, and that's another thing. Let's do like computer vision. Let's talk about that. So computer vision is actually, so let's talk about something positive about all this. And this is actually something that was helped championed by Colorado State University. Computer vision. One of my professors was leading this. Professor Draper. Yeah, Draper. Sorry, I was thinking about a different, but who's now like the head chair of like the computer science department. Like he's the boss over there now, and like, brilliant guy, and like he taught us how to find like a cat face in a project. I mean, I didn't do it very good, but my friends did. My colleagues got this program to use this mathematical algorithm to find the shapes of a circle and two triangles like a cat. And that was just like a small precursor to computer vision where thankfully, so the old days, like if you ever watch like Dexter, where Deborah was watching all those videotapes, like she has to look through all the evidence. And that's the horrible reality is people used to have to look through and watch all this like filth and get scarred and all of this. Like, now computers do it and they're pretty accurate. I mean, and if they're not, they're gonna be because that's AI training and all that. Like, of course, in like a sandbox or like, contained, but like this way. And so the not silver lining, but like the significance of this, sorry, is now if law enforcement recovers a device with memory on it, they just run it through the scanner, it'll pop hot or not, and it saves much time for law enforcement to be able to just scan all sorts of stuff and probably like anything they have remote access to. They might just do a random scan. McAfee, like all the like security companies, they're scanning for that stuff. Like, so that's how these perverts, they're gonna get caught. So now watch all these, people are gonna run and just like try to like disable their antivirus. Well, guess what? Windows, like Apple, like they're probably all scanning for that nasty stuff. So, anyways, I digress. But computer vision has made a huge breakthrough in fighting predation of minors. So, now teenagers, it's a little harder, and there's like teenage accounts for stuff. There's I actually heard, well, no, that's like personal information. But no, like, I mean, some families don't even allow any social media. Like, and my whole thing is like respect. It's all about respect. And like, and part of respect is not cyberbullying. Where is that? Where's that? Here. Yeah, cyberbullying, being toxic, Well, now misunderstandings like that. This is important and bears speaking about. So what I mean by misunderstanding is someone might say something, and this is easier to do in chat, like text form. But if it's in like a voice chat thing, and actually a lot of games like don't let you do for voice chat, or like it gives you the option to toggle voice chat, and that's what I did with my kids when they were really little. Like, I'd let them play Fortnite, but I wouldn't let them, and not like really little, like they were still like 6, 7, like it's cartoony violence. And when I was 5, I was shooting real guns. So, and I think I turned out okay, because I was taught very seriously by both my father and a guy with one hand. He had a hook for one hand and no legs. He was in a wheelchair, and he was teaching gun safety. And so he was blown up by a grenade or something in a war zone. But like, I thought, wow, this guy ain't messing around. Guns are terrible. Like, it's just like, oh, sorry not to laugh at his, plight, but like, and that's why war is bad, and we need to end that too. But one of the many reasons. I mean, he's lucky he's still alive. Like, granted, he's all that, but like, could be worse, could be dead. Like, and with advancements in robotics and other, like, we'll talk about the more beneficial and positive. Not beneficial. This is all beneficial too, but the more positive. The thing about that is with technology, we're trying to start making up that. But anyways, where was I going with that? Misunderstanding, letting kids talk, and I was shooting guns. But yeah, so, but if it is a misunderstanding and like they didn't actually mean offense, and it's really easy to do in like actual like text, because now, like, I mean, people use emojis and stuff. That's a big thing. So you can kind of like fix some of the non-visual communication cues. So yeah, like the tone. Plus, like AIs, like Grammarly, like analyze your writing, and they'll like let you know, be like, hey, you're sounding a little defensive here, or like, or oh, you sound smart, and it's like, it's really interesting how that feedback happens. But anyways, let's see. So we got all that, and also I trust the constant online monitoring and reporting system. So, I mean, but at the same time, like, yeah, they just didn't talk to people when they were really little. That's fine. So. Credential stealing, car accident, denial of service. This one's really like, like I said, this is a real niche thing, but basically like clogging a network. Ah. Clogging a network or system. I mean, really, it's just trying to access something too fast or too much. Like, not too fast, but too many things that, like, that's what they used to use botnets for. In fact, let's go ahead and put that. Botnet. All right. So that's when, like, if you ever watched Breaking Bad, when they have that, I don't want to do spoilers, but I guess it's not a spoiler. They set up a money laundering thing through a series of computers giving donations to a charity cause that they had. And, like, that's just one example. And that's why, like, when clicking bad links back in the day, well, I guess still now, but like, they used to be like, you might download some malicious software that allowed like beaconing back to a mothership, and like that person has remote access to your computer, meaning that they could log in and make your computer do whatever they want. Like send messages or something to deny service, and like try to log in and spam. Yeah, we could say spamming. And you can even DOS the chat in Twitch streams too, like. Spamming the chat. There you go. Because I mean, that's a denial of service there, because then people can't see what's going on. I mean, there's a fine line between spamming and like raiding with enthusiasm. So, anyways, um, yeah. Wow, we're growing quite the list here. So, and I'm also kind of taking some self-inventory. Like, I haven't done any of this other stuff. Like, definitely no theft. Like that, this like makes my blood boil too, and that's why I want to do the group through Monday Mansion. I am rallying people. We actually have, in fact, let's do this. So, positive notes. Monday Mansion. So that one, it's going to take a little bit. I went and checked it out with my boy Walter. We're going to use code names. No, he's going to be well known by the end of this, but as part of this. But he's one of my very closest colleagues and friends who's actually went and partied down with him with the birth of my son. Monday Mansion. So this we're going to use as a tool to all this stuff in multiple languages too. I got to see what kind of support it has for that, if people can write in other languages. But so far I have Arabic, Ukrainian, Russian, and actually let's write all of that. Yeah. We're gonna put Arabic. Like Arabic, I have family. I mean, I lived with some Saudis back in college, and I now consider them family. So Arabic. Although I dropped the ball and I have to seek their forgiveness. I basically, I thought I could do more. I promised more than I could because I'm a people pleaser. But, and I'm trying to work on that. But I didn't realize the situation. And I was in a dingy little condo. And I told him, like, yeah, your brother can stay with me. How long? And he even said it, too. He's like, I forget how much it was, like 6 weeks or something. Or like, so a good like month and a half. And I was like trying to find a job, like, or no, that wasn't, I had found a job, but that was when I was like barely there for long. And like, I was in a tiny little condo, I had my kids like half time, still do, but like, and like, I don't know. But now I have a decent sized house. It's ghetto. Like, I mean, I ain't rich for sure, but at least now I think I could actually accommodate them without like being on each other's lap. Like, I mean, just like that tight of like 2 room. Well, I was really 3 rooms, but still. Anyways, but I do have people that speak Arabic that are down, people that speak Ukrainian that are down. And, drum roll please, Russian. Now, and let me explain this. So, like, we are still seeing conflict between these two people. However, that does not mean that I don't want the average Russian and the average Ukrainian to be protected from scams. Like, nothing about the war between these two people, or these two countries, makes it to where they should be ripped off. I mean, they're already going through a lot of nonsense right now, and I weep for them. Like, I don't pray a lot, but like I do. I pray, well, actually, no, let's not lie here. I haven't prayed for like their safety or anything, but I worry and send good vibes. There you go. Let's keep it straight here. But, because I actually do pray every now and then, not like, Anyways, that's besides the point. So, Russian, Ukrainian, and of course Spanish. That's like the easiest one to find around here. Not me though. Yo hablo poquito pero no mucho. Mi español es muy malo y necesito hablar despacio. Spanish. But I have Spanish-speaking friends. So, I haven't confirmed with any of them. Like, these bottom 3, like Arabic confirmed, Ukrainian confirmed, Russian confirmed, Spanish. Chinese, yes, but it's going to take some doing. So, Chinese, I've got to say, eventually. But I do have a dedicated colleague that speaks Chinese. Actually, wait, I could probably find somebody that speaks Chinese. Anyways, but we're going to put Chinese in there because that is one of the target languages to talk about. Now, I can already hear some of my military and like security buddies being like, "What are you doing?" But again, nobody wants scammers, fishers, like all of that. Nobody. This is a global peace solution. So we're just going to put that there for now. Oh, that is awesome. So Monday Mansion, I'm going to be doing, the goal is, the hope is to do a session every Sunday evening, every other Sunday evening, or maybe one Sunday a month. I don't know. I mean, I might rotate. I might do like every Sunday for the first couple of months, just to get it going. And I'm actually going to, so first off, and let's actually do this. Code in game. So let's put this here. Monday Mansion is... And this is how I can get ultimately a lot more people that speak a lot more different languages. Code in game. So I announced it on here, not really loud. I just did it in like their saying, talk about anything here chat. And basically, uh, they have channels for Russian, French, German. I think there might be more, but I'm pretty sure they at least have all those. Although as I'm thinking about it, I think there's only like three. There's definitely French because Coding Game is a French company. I'm pretty sure. I see a lot of French people on there, and I feel like, well, either way, it seems heavily skewed to France, but they also have a lot of like German, Russian, just really people from all over, and it's awesome. Like, and then when the war broke out, oh, well, anyways, this is how we can recruit people from all over the world to set, except for not so much Chinese. I don't think I've seen a lot of Chinese speakers in there unless they're using Google Translate to speak in a different language. So, um, wow, I just hit like a brick wall. I'm ready for bed, but basically, yeah. So this project is like the next on deck. It's the Monday Mansion. I mean, if more people start coming in and taking over, plus we got to do it at a different time. So the time that I do would be more or less convenient for the Americas, and that's about it. Like, I mean, because Sunday afternoon, evening, the rest of the world except for like the Pacific Ocean, no, maybe Hawaii. Like maybe Hawaii might just be waking up for that. But Japan, I don't know. Like, what time is it in Japan right now? Let's see. Hold on, I do this constantly, like when I try to talk to somebody and um, time in Japan. 3:19 p.m. So yeah, even at this latest, it would be like early morning to morning for Japan, Sunday afternoon. So, anyways. That's so funny. Trying to think about what else to talk about any of these. Like, this is a pretty wide swath of like all the different things. Um, oh, blackmail. So predation can also be blackmail. Sussy blackmail. Oh, and actually, even as I say that, there could be even two distinctions of that. So, either blackmail to coerce or force somebody to do things like send a picture or, um, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting worked up. Like, so you can see situations where people force people to send pictures, or, um, oh wait, I don't have any more signs. Um, or say you've already exchanged some pictures with somebody, and this is a very common scam. Somebody will pose as like some, attractive female. It's mostly guys, I feel like. I mean, I don't think I'm sure it's happened the other direction, but come on, let's face it. Like, guys are easily more tricked. Like, so sussy blackmail, um, ransom to not leak pics. So I'm talking like to their friends, their family, anyone in their friends list. Like that's what some people do is they'll extort money out of someone. Ransom to not leak pics. There you go. So say you've been sending pictures back and forth with someone that you thought, you're catfished and you thought it was like some gorgeous, like Romanian blonde with blue eyes or whatever. Like, I'm just kidding. Like, I mean, for me, it'd be like big booty Latinas, but just kidding. But either way, what I'm saying is like they will pose as whatever attractive female or male, whatever, like whatever they think that you're going to be attracted to. And then they'll try to get you to send and receive pics. And of course, they just got to go to an adult website and find a model that's maybe a little lesser known, find a whole spread of her pictures, then find some pictures of her with clothes on so you can introduce and like start that way. And then you just lure them into giving you photos. And then they're like, psych, I'm a dude. And by the way, I'm going to show these pictures to your family if you don't give me some gift cards or some dinero. And like, gift cards are a lot harder to trace because all you need to do is use the number and then you can maybe see where it was used at and like, stuff like that. But whereas like bank accounts and PayPal, that's a little easier to trace because then it's like a direct, transaction, which the PayPal, like, I mean, it's still used, don't get me wrong, but like anybody who's worth their salt in stealing stuff would probably know that like, those transactions and stuff. But sussy blackmail, forcing. And actually, I know somebody that was a victim of this. Like, she was forced to do something so a guy wouldn't tell on her, wouldn't tattle to her parents that she was out drinking the alcohol at a party. Now, imagine that. I'm still holding one against that guy. Forcing sussy things. Slash picks. So it could be picks or favors, like anything like that. Like you're basically coercing and like otherwise taking a shortcut rather than doing the right way, take them out to dinner, do dates and woo them and all that. Like, no, you're holding something against them to force them to do things that they don't want to do. Maybe they do want to do. Maybe they lets out the freak or whatever, but that's still not, it's like, it's not their consent. And this actually happened when they're both too young to really consent. But I mean, that's kind of like a different area where it's like when you're within like a year or two of someone at that age, 4 years is still too much. And I do know that like okay, this is the fess up when you mess up. So I dated a cheerleader when I was a senior and she was a freshman, all for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, hey, this feels uncomfortable. I feel like you're just way too young for me. You're beautiful, don't get me wrong. And like, if I was like a year or two younger, maybe. But like at this point, like she was just getting into high school and I was just on my way out. Like I was like, man, I'm supposed to be like the adult, like the leader of this. And also my friends told me, it was like, yeah, dude, that looks weird. I'm like, all right, well, good that my concerns were confirmed. And so, yeah. And then, so anyways, and sorry, not saying that, but like the age thing. But I say that because the gal that I know that had this happen to her was a minor when that happened. Although they were the same age. In fact, I think he was a year older, just one though. So it wasn't like an age gap, like weirdness. It was more forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do. Now, whew, that's a lot. But these are the big things. Oh, let's go over here though. So phishing, completely other end. So like, emails, what to look for. Email return address. Let's talk about that. So whenever you get anything, check the return address. Like, where did this come from? Who's saying this? And are they really who they are? And really, that's not just email, that's everything. But email is just the best to talk about because, like, they'll even try to make it look very similar to something. Like, if they're saying from google.com or something, they might change the L to a 1 just to do a little subtle trick that you might not catch. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's from google.com. That makes sense. Oh, and this also will go back into the online voting thing. Is like the return address, even if it's like spoofed, which is made. Okay, yeah, let's actually just say that. So the email addresses, we've got spoofing, which is where they fake to be a different email address. Like say they actually say they're from google.com, spoofing. But then if you reply to it, it'll actually try to go to an address in google.com or anything. And actually, I think it kind of falls apart at that point because then it's going to say either it doesn't exist or, because I mean, that's like saying that they guessed or they had access to someone's actual legitimate account. Or they have that fake one. So it's like a Google with a 1 for the L. Oh, there's the alarm. Oh yeah, I need to go to bed. But the email return address spoofing, And usually it's like something completely random, but even if it does look like it's supposed to be the person that it's imitating, because it'll say, "Hi, I'm so and so," or "Hey, this is so and so. I need this," or whatever. So, anyways, no, that's a good place to stop. Whew, definitely heavy on this side, but I mean, this is more like theft, predation, all that. Like this stuff leads into theft. So this would not so much like predation or even cyberbullying or toxic or anything like that. Um, yeah, they're quite the sprawling list of topics. So, all right, good night, everybody. I'm gonna go pass out. Hope everybody learned a little thing or two about some cybersecurity, and I'm just really excited to do the project. All the different languages. This is gonna be like Captain Planet with all the people with their rings and stuff. Only that seems kind of super racist, but it is like it is all the people from all the countries and uniting. And actually, these ones are the big ones: China, Russia, and us. We need to, like, the people need to protect each other and ourselves from scammers. Like all that other stuff, like that stuff will keep, like whatever they're doing, like they'll have to settle that out and figure that out for themselves. But I wish them peace, and I wish them a speedy end, which I mean it's still going on. Like it's still we're not doing much. It's like the president of peace, like we're, anyways, sorry, let's not get political with this, but I'll just say Venezuela. So I'm just kidding. All right, ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.